In this video, we're talking about why we're taking pictures of the objects in the first place. Of course, you want to have reference photos when you paint or something to look at. If you're painting realism, you're going to have either a real life reference or a photograph of real objects or real people or landscapes or whatever. The reason that I'm having you take a snapshot of your objects is that when we start to draw with the paintbrush, I'm going to show you some tricks to draw this thing out quickly on your canvas to go right into the painting parts of the project. The most important thing is to get this photo cropped to the same proportion as the canvas. So I'm going to open Photoshop here in a second, and most basic photo editors, you're going to be able to crop it to a certain ratio. And so let's open this, and I'm actually going to export this to the desktop. Okay, so the photo that I chose to work with, I've opened it up in Photoshop, and I'm going to be working on an 8x10 canvas, and I just recommend for daily painting practice buying a whole stack of little 8x10 canvases and cropping all your pictures for 8x10 ratio, and that way you just have small paintings you can work on either every day or once or twice a week to really practice your realism painting skills. So I'm going to bring in the crop tool here. I'm in Photoshop, and so this is actually Photoshop Elements, and if you come down here to the ratio, I can select 8x10. You know, if it happened to be a vertical orientation, I could click these little arrows and it would change the 8x10 to the other orientation. So I'm going to switch it back to a landscape orientation, and so I know that however I choose to crop this, it's going to be the same ratio and proportion as an 8x10 canvas. So when I'm doing these little daily paintings for practice, I want it to be to where it fills in most of the canvas, because you know I'm already painting on a small canvas, so I don't want to have these little bitty objects way down low and small on an 8x10 canvas. So I want to crop it to where these are going to fill in the 8x10 canvas, and part of the drawing process is going to be looking at the shapes of the background. So I can arrange this to where I've got some interesting shapes going on in the background. All right, so now that it's cropped, it's ready to print. And I want you to print 2 copies.